What's going on, guys? Mike, aka Crypto Jewels. I'm going to do a Bitcoin update real quick, guys. First off, I launched a private Discord channel about a month ago. If you guys have interest in that, I'm going to throw a link down below this video. And I'm not a financial advisor. I do this for entertainment and educational purposes only, so don't blindly follow anything I do. I'm going to be focusing a lot of these videos over the next couple of days on Bitcoin. Because I believe Bitcoin is ultimately the determining factor of when everything else is going to bottom from a macro standpoint. So with that being said, I'm going to put a lot of my emphasis right now onto paying attention and understanding where Bitcoin is in the cycle. So from a macro level right now, a high time frame, this is the weekly chart. Bitcoin looks pretty darn good. Looks like it is bottoming or close to being at the bottom at least, at minimum. So my macro view on this thing is from an Elliott wave standpoint, we are on our fourth wave. So we've had our first wave, one wave impulse, our second correction here with the extenuation of the COVID dump. And then we had our third wave topping out around 63,000 up in April. And then we have what I believe is an A, B, C to create our fourth wave. And then we have a fifth wave up that will take us over $100,000 in my opinion. So this is the macro chart. This is a base channel from an Elliott wave standpoint, and typically base channels, what they do, they run from bottom of 2 to top of 1 in a channel. Once they break out, that's indicative of a third wave break. So that's here, and we topped the third wave. And then base channels typically will retest either the top of the channel or the midline of the channel before they resume their fifth wave, which, as you can see here, we have a perfect retest again. We've had one, and now we've had a second retest of the top of that base channel on the weekly. And the reaction as of right now is looking pretty darn good. Those are obviously the type of green weekly candles you want to see to indicate that a bottom has happened. So at this point, I don't believe we've bottomed. However, I am ready to flip my bias if the chart dictates that we are and have indeed bottomed. And I'm going to get into those two scenarios here in just a second. So my primary count and my primary thesis is that we are actually on a 4 wave and we have one more fifth wave down. And that count looks like this. You've got a 1, 2, and then your third wave is made up as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are currently in an A, B, C of our fourth wave, and we should have one more final fifth wave down. Depending on how this price action unfolds, once we actually start to become impulsive down, right now I have our target between 29,700 to 31,900. So really 30 to 32 grand is where my final 5-wave target is. And, we could have a truncated fifth. It just really depends how this wave unfolds from here. If it unfolds an impulsive motive wave structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is my target. If it starts to unfold in a ending diagonal, which would look basically like a falling wedge, then we could certainly have a truncated fifth, or at least just barely sweep the low here at 32.9. So anywhere down really around that zone is where I would be targeting for a completion of the fifth wave, which looks like that. Now, the other scenario that we have is that this could be, I can make an argument that we are impulsive, or we could be impulsive. I can gather a 1 wave here with an ABC And then this again, this would be a base channel. So you've got your channel starts from bottom of 2, goes to top of 1. And then once you break out of this top of this base channel, that is indicative of a third wave, which I would take that third wave at about 46,000 or so is where I have that third wave going. And then a fourth wave would be a retest of the top of the base channel, or potentially the midline. So it could retest anywhere from 43.4 all the way down to 40,900 if we do end up getting that third wave impulse. And then after that, we would need a fifth wave, which could take us up to about 50,000 bucks. So if this scenario ends up playing out, I would anticipate a ABC correction, and then once we break the top of this fifth wave here, that would confirm this count for me. But for me personally, if we get this 5-wave impulse, I will be buying this correction. Wherever that ends up being, I'll have to determine at that point. So again, to sum up, I've got, really from a macro standpoint, this thing's looking really good. It's looking to me, we've also got, I didn't mention this, we also do have bullish divergence on the RSI on the weekly. So far that has been confirmed. So that's another indicator that looks really good. So from a macro standpoint, I think we are getting very close to bottoming. And again, from a micro standpoint, and this is, really diving down into the weeds here. I believe we are at the top of our 4-wave now. This 4-wave has been very frustrating and choppy for a lot of people. I'm sure there were a lot of people that got extremely chopped up and lost a lot of money, unfortunately. But that's kind of how 4 waves unfold. To me, I think that this was a C wave up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we probably have our 5th wave in with that little pump right there at about 42,600. But we're just going to have to see how price reacts from here. It is possible that this was some sort of a micro third wave, which, it's really hard to tell right now. And we have one more little pump up to 43,200-ish. But as of right now, I'm assuming that C wave is in, and we are going to become impulsive in a downward direction, targeting this area here. Scenario 2 is if we do end up, pushing up to 46,000, then my bias will flip. So basically, this bear count to me gets invalidated around 46,000, as long as we can hold and then break that 46,000, put in our 5th wave, and then have a corrective. So those are the 2 scenarios I see. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Talk to y'all later.